Hello YouTube, BCT Assassin here with a texture pack spotlight. This is a 256X texture pack brought to you by Tsuarok. It's designed for the Terrafirmacraft Mod, and Terrafirmacraft is a mod that completely reworks the entire survival mode of the game. I really like it. I've been playing a bit of it recently, and I'm going to start a Let's Play series, and I'll be using this texture pack for it. At any rate, Tsuarok has done a lot of work in this texture pack. I'm also using Optifine for connected textures, and then the Better Leaves and Grass mod as well, just to make those things look a little bit more, a little nicer and a little bit more realistic. Optifine, of course, for connected textures. This pack relies heavily on it, so I highly recommend using that. And then, of course, he has released this in lower resolutions as well, 128, 64, and 32, so if you need to, you can download those instead. This is still technically a work in progress. There are some things that are not done yet, but most of the blocks in the world, I think all of the blocks now, have textures. A lot of the devices do. Armors and tools, I would say, are the two kind of biggest areas that have not gotten any work done yet, but he's still working on it, making lots of progress. At any rate, so with that, all those notes, if you haven't run an HD texture pack before, I would recommend at least 2 gigs of RAM if you're going to be running a 128, and at least 4 gigs of RAM if you're going to be running a 256, like this one here is. And I'm getting 24 frames, and I have 8 dedicated, but it looks like it's only using about 1.5 right now. So that being said, let's get started. So we've got a couple of different trees here, oak trees, and we've got hickory over here, and then we finally have aspen. It's our final kind of wild tree that I'll show you, but all the trees have been retextured. And then of course we have dandelions, and I really like that he's got both the buds and the seed pods there, the little white things that you blow as a kid. At any rate, then this is connected textures at work here with this rock. This is actually all the same type of rock, but because of connected textures, it doesn't tile. It doesn't get repetitive. It's broken up a little bit, which is really nice. Terrafirmacraft adds many kinds of dirt. There isn't just dirt. There isn't just rock. There is now, let's see here. 22 types of dirt and rock and sand. So there's a new texture and then recolored for each type of rock, dirt, and sand. Each rock has its own texture, and then of course just recolored for sand and dirt. Gravel has but one texture, or but one entity. There's only gravel. It doesn't change based on where it spawns, so that one only has one. Then I'd like to point out the different animations. If you watch the bottom of the screen, the different splashes, basically, as you go in the water. Some of them are real small, some of them are quite a bit larger, but they all look very cool. And then of course the water itself, very, very smooth animation from start to finish, very smooth loop there, very nice. Charcoal, as done in Terrafirmacraft, is a bunch of logs piled up and smoldered for a while, and I think that's a very appropriate texture for what is done to create the charcoal. I really like that texture and how it reflects what has actually been done. And then of course you have the roses. And, excuse me, I'm going to turn the sound music down here. This is actually the Terrafirmacraft music playing. I just extracted it so it's a little more controllable. Anyways, you've got log piles. And then something you don't see a lot of early in game, typically in Terrafirmacraft, is running water. Simply because it's so difficult to... well, it's impossible to transport until late game TFC. But the animation on it is very, very smooth. Very realistic. It almost looks like it's reflecting the light. So, very, very cool. And this is actually the smoothed version of Gabbro, which is the rock that is over here that we kind of spawned in. So I like that he took the original texture and kind of, you know, the smoothed version of the rock looks appropriate to what the raw version of the rock does. Very nice work. This is Bedrock here. Of course you won't be able to mine that, but this isn't Rotary Craft. But it does look very, very cool. I like the looks of it. Very nice. Might be worth digging down to. Or not. And then of course you have lava. Very nice animation there as well. And then the still lava looks very nice. You can see it kind of rippling and rolling, and almost got myself on fire there. You do have a pretty cool fire animation at the bottom of the screen as well. See it pretty smoothly there. Marble has always been a favorite of mine in TFC, and Tsuarok has come up with a very, very cool smoothed marble pattern here. Very nice looking. Then of course we have rock salt, and I want to say rhyolite. Nope, this is the dolomite. This would be the rhyolite then. Yeah. And finally basalt. And of course, again, these are the smoothed versions which you get after you chisel them so that they're not affected by gravity anymore. And if we walk down the trees here, we've got oak up first. And what I have here is the raw log vertical and then sideways so you can see the top of it. And then of course the plank block and then the barrel. And I have that for each type of wood. So we've got aspen, and birch, chestnut, Douglas fir. You can kind of see the moss on the bark there, very cool. Hickory, of course, which we already saw out in the wild. And maple. And on final one on this side is ash. If we go to the other side here, we have the Acacia Logs. Oops. The Cabbage, the famous purple wood of TFC. The famous green willow trees, of course. The white elm. The white cedar, which is really nice if you need maybe a brighter ceiling or a walkway or something for nighttime usage. Sycamore logs. Spruce. Sequoia, which in the wild actually spawns as a 2x2, so that would be doubled, but it looks very nice. And finally, pine. Alright, well that's it for the blocks that I have set up for demo. Like I said, all the rocks though have been redone and retextured, so you'll have to go exploring to find the rest of them. And then over here we have some of the food that has been retextured. Barley, oat, and maize. A lot of your grains here. Maize, of course, being a type of corn. Very nice finished texture there. cabbage here. And then the garlic. I love that he's got the little purple seed pods that it gets when it's almost ready to pick. And then of course this is the ripe garlic here, ready to be harvested. Same thing for the carrot. When it's ready to be harvested, a little orange top pops up out of the ground. Green beans here starts out as a tiny little plant with a big stick to climb up there, which is really good. And then of course when it's ready to harvest, we get these little green beans hanging off of the plant. Very nice work on that texture. And here we have some jute, kind of young, and pretty sure this is ready to harvest. Tried to record this video a couple of times, so lost track of what's ready and what's not. Alright, well with that, let's go inside. We've got the connected textures at work here for the thatch. And of course, up on top we can see the corner very nicely sewn together there. I love on the door that you can actually kind of see through the planks. You can kind of see through, you got the bed, kind of still see it there. All the ingots in the background. Oh. This is a smoothed schist. Another rock that you'll find out in the world. And torches, of course. The first device that you build in TFC, of course, device if you will, is your fire pit. You can see it's kind of got two sticks here, like a burned out log and some tinder maybe. And then if we get some wood in there, you'll see there's another fresh log that got added in. Came up after we lit it. Of course, your very cool fire animation, and then it's also glowing kind of in the background, so very nice. And then of course I like that it's not a perfect circle, because come on, who's ever made a fire pit and actually managed to get it in a perfect circle? Alright, and over here we have the second device that you'll build, and this is the forge. And put some charcoal in there. Light that bad boy up. A very, very nice animation going on there. The forge, of course, is made with 8 pieces of charcoal stacked up on the ground, so I like that when it's out, it kind of reflects that, and when it's in, you can still kind of see, you know, large pieces of charcoal in here, just burning away, heating up that metal. Alright, finally we have the bloomery. Sorry, not finally, we still have the blast furnace. Third device that you'll build. No, actually I guess the third device that you'll build is one of these copper anvils. And then of course you'll upgrade to bismuth bronze, and wrought iron, steel, black steel, and red iron, or blue iron. But they're all retextured. I've just picked these ones out to highlight them. And then, of course, you got the bloomery here. Very cool doors going on there. Let's get some charcoal in there. Not sure where that went. Just get some more of it. There we go. Pleasures of creative mode. Alright, so that's your molten that's not lit up. And then if we light this here, we'll see that. We've got some very cool fire going on with the doors closed. And if we open the doors, we can see the molten burning in the background. Very, very nice there. And then I'm going to show you a couple of things out here. One is just a log on fire, which you have to be a little bit careful of because, you know, a house made of wood. But the fire animation itself looks very, very cool. Put that out. And then the Crucible here, which would be the next thing you build after the After the bloomery, you'll be building a Crucible. And this normally sits atop a forge, so the fact that the bottom of it is kind of blackened from all the soot and stuff that you'd be getting off of it, I think is a very nice detail. And then of course you'll need to use one underneath the blast furnace, and this is kind of final device, very late game here. You've got your wrought iron sheets, which is probably what most of you are going to use for your sheets on your blast furnace brick. But because I'm in creative mode, I decided to put up some red steel ones as well, because they also look very cool. And then of course I've got some charcoal in there already. If I throw some more, plus some hematite, maybe. Okay. There it is. And of course we need some flux. Get that all lit up. Now if we light this on fire, we'll see that we've got this, again, fire animation, very cool, going on in the background. We've got some heat radiating off. And then of course I love that the blast furnace brick, or the fire brick block, and the blast furnace texture blend together the way they do. I think that is a very cool effect. Makes it look like they're all kind of made out of the same kind of brick, which makes sense that they would be. Alright, well I think I've highlighted pretty much everything so far. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a Let's Play series of Terrafirmacraft soon, so keep an eye out for that. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to start it, but will be in the next couple of weeks. I think I'm going to get footage for a couple of episodes together first, but I will definitely be using this texture pack as the daily driver for it. And that Tsuarok has put together, I think he's done awesome work, and I can't wait to see the armors and the tools and weapons once he gets those added in as well. I'll be including links for the to the forum page where you can download this pack. And of course, I think that's it for today. So this is BCT Assassin signing off and saying, keep on digging.